At the beginning, a boy and a girl accidentally crashed into each other in the school corridor, sending both of them to the floor. The boy groaned in pain and pointed out that it was her again, Inoue. She immediately protested that that was supposed to be her line. With an annoyed expression, she asked Tanaka if he was not bumping into her a little too often and jokingly wondered if he had a crush on her. Tanaka shot back that she could not seriously say that when she was also at fault. Inoue simply laughed it off, apologized, and told him she was just kidding before saying that she would see him again later. She then walked away. Confused, Tanaka wondered what she meant by bumping into him again and called after her, telling her to watch where she was going. As he watched her leave, he noticed a strand of her hair resting on his shoulder. Picking it up carefully, he realized that it belonged to Inoue. He quietly pocketed the strand and headed home, remarking that it was time to go. The scene then shifted to his house. There, he sat in his room holding the strand of hair in his hand. Smiling to himself, he recalled Inoue asking whether he had a crush on her. He then placed the strand inside a drawer. The drawer was already filled with similar keepsakes, and the front wall of the room was covered with posters of Inoue. Looking at them lovingly, he admitted that he loved her, of course. A shocking twist followed. Elsewhere, Inoue was watching him through her laptop. Letting out an amused laugh, she declared that she loved him too. Still giggling, she wondered what the next thing he would want from her would be. Meanwhile, Tanaka leaned forward and kissed one of the posters hanging on his wall. Just then, his sister suddenly arrived home and announced her return. Panicking, he hurriedly tried to hide what he had been doing. His sister immediately noticed his behavior and asked why he was panicking, calling him gross. Trying desperately to conceal the evidence, Tanaka reminded her that he had told her countless times to knock before entering his room. She sarcastically asked whether he was some kind of lady. Then she complained that adorable Yua-chan had gone straight to her older brother's dirty room immediately after coming home, yet this was the attitude she was receiving. Flustered, Tanaka demanded to know what she wanted. Yua raised her arms and reminded him that whenever she said she was home, there was something he was supposed to do. Knowing exactly what she meant, Tanaka reluctantly hugged her and welcomed her home. She sighed and remarked that no matter how many times she told him, nothing ever seemed to get through his thick head. Embarrassed, Tanaka asked whether this was not awkward for her considering she was already a high school student. Yua immediately shot back, asking whether he was ashamed because his little sister was acting affectionate toward him. She once again called him gross. Fed up, Tanaka told her to shut up and get away from him. Smiling mischievously, she refused. Her attention then shifted to a stuffed toy sitting in the room. She pointed out that he was still keeping that stuffed toy and picked it up. Calling it creepy, she suggested throwing it away immediately. Tanaka quickly objected. Yua insisted that it did not suit him at all, and admitted that the toy somehow irritated her. She declared that kind Yua-chan would throw it away for him since his room did not need things that she knew nothing about. The moment she said that, Tanaka suddenly exploded with anger. He firmly told her that the toy was important to him, and demanded that she keep her hands off it. Seeing the furious expression on her brother's face, Yua was stunned. Tears immediately welled up in her eyes as she muttered in disbelief. In frustration, she struck him in the face and ran out of the room, shouting that she would throw it away someday. Watching the entire exchange through her laptop, Inoue blushed brightly. She found it adorable that the stuffed toy she had given him was apparently that important to him, and happily declared her love once again. Overwhelmed with joy, she joked that she could die right then and there. In her heart, she admitted that she was truly glad she had given it to him. The next day, the scene shifted to school. Inoue was handing out game prizes to other students. One of them asked whether she was really okay with giving away so many of them. Showing a cheerful smile, Inoue replied that it actually helped her because she had already gotten the one thing she wanted most. At that moment, she noticed Tanaka and deliberately bumped into him from behind. Tanaka immediately asked why she always had to do that. Ignoring the complaint, she asked whether he wanted any of the game prizes. Surprised, Tanaka asked if she was serious and quickly added that if she was giving them away, he would gladly accept one. Privately, he thought that anything from her would make him happy. Inoue happily agreed and pulled out a large teddy bear. She announced that she would give him the biggest one. Startled, Tanaka asked whether she was really sure, pointing out that it looked like the prize she had wanted the most. Inoue explained that she had indeed worked hard to get it and asked whether he could take care of it as if it were her. The comment instantly made Tanaka nervous. Seeing his reaction, she laughed and claimed that she was only joking. Just then, one of Tanaka's friends called out that they were leaving without him. Tanaka answered that he was coming before thanking Inoue for the gift. she happily replied that he was welcome. After he left, another girl asked Inoue what the thing she had wanted most actually was. Blushing slightly, Inoue answered that it was a secret. Her friend immediately guessed that it was that ugly-looking bastard. Laughing, Inoue teasingly said that she got it right before quickly claiming that she was only kidding. The friend then asked for one if she had any extras. Inside her mind, however, Inoue quietly admitted that the one thing she had wanted the most was standing right there. As she thought that, her gaze remained fixed on Tanaka. At the same moment, a strange light appeared in the teddy bear's left eye. The scene then shifted. A woman stood alone on the edge of a bridge. As tears filled her eyes, she remembered an argument with her partner. In her memory, he angrily told her not to make him say it again and called her insane. Desperately, she begged him to wait. He shoved her away and told her to get off him. Crying, she pleaded that he was all she had. She promised that she would do anything and begged him not to leave her. Ignoring her tears, he walked away and warned her never to touch him again. Back in the present, she replayed the painful memory in her head. Exhausted and heartbroken, she admitted that she was tired and decided that she would end everything. Meanwhile, Tanaka happened to be walking across the same bridge. Obsessively thinking about Inoue's cheek bandage and wanting to get it, he suddenly noticed the woman. Alarmed, he shouted in surprise and rushed toward her. He grabbed her just as she was about to jump, but both of them ended up falling from the bridge. Fortunately, the drop was only about 4 meters, and neither of them suffered any serious injuries. After surfacing, Tanaka immediately demanded to know what she thought she was doing and reminded her that it was dangerous. Even though he did not know what had happened, he begged her not to kill herself. The woman apologized and quietly agreed. Relieved, Tanaka began saying that he was glad she understood. Before he could finish, however, he suddenly sneezed from being soaked by the river water. Concerned, she worried that he would catch a cold because of her. She grabbed his hand. Tanaka tried to insist that he was fine. However, she interrupted him and explained that there was a house nearby where they could dry their clothes. Still trying to refuse, Tanaka was cut off again. The woman insisted that he listen to his wani-san. Caught off guard by the remark, Tanaka reacted in surprise. The scene then shifted to an apartment. Amazed by what he saw, Tanaka remarked that it was an incredible apartment. The woman laughed softly and explained that her father owned the building and that it was far too large for one person to live in. She welcomed him inside. Tanaka politely apologized for intruding. The moment he entered, he was stunned by the luxurious interior. Embarrassed, the woman explained that there was a bathroom inside and offered to wash his uniform while he used it. She also informed him that it was a guest room. Tanaka thanked her. However, after processing what she had said, he was shocked to learn that there was actually a bathroom inside the guest room and privately concluded that she was unbelievably rich. Later, after changing clothes, he apologized again for borrowing her bath, her clothes, and even accepting such a gorgeous dinner. The sight of the meal left him speechless. The woman smiled and explained that it was only natural because he had saved her life. She introduced herself as Kuroshima and pointed out that there were drinks in the refrigerator if he wanted any. Immediately refusing, Tanaka insisted that he was fine. Kuroshima encouraged him not to be shy and explained that she loved entertaining and taking care of people. Tanaka sincerely told her that she was incredibly kind. The compliment caused Kuroshima to blush. With a playful smile, she warned him not to tease older women because comments like that could easily be misunderstood. Panicking, Tanaka hurriedly explained that he had not meant anything by it. Privately, he thought that he had been completely serious. Kuroshima laughed and assured him that she was only joking. At that moment, Tanaka's phone received a message. It was from his sister, who angrily demanded to know why he had not come home and repeatedly called him stupid. Realizing the time, Tanaka told Kuroshima that it was his sister and that he should probably get going. Kuroshima replied that she would bring him his uniform. Tanaka thanked her once again. After getting ready to leave, he sincerely expressed his gratitude for everything she had done. Kuroshima thanked him as well. Before leaving, Tanaka hesitated and called out to her. When she responded, he admitted that he did not know exactly what she was going through, but he encouraged her not to let it consume her. He then handed her a note containing his Rhine ID and told her that he would listen whenever she wanted to talk. Privately, he thought that if he left her alone, she might attempt it again. Accepting the note, Kuroshima thanked him from the bottom of her heart. After Tanaka left, she began collecting the used dishes. As she did, she found herself thinking about him. She reflected that although he was still a young boy, he was reliable and kind. Even the way he ate his food had seemed adorable to her. She wished she could stay close to him every day. Then an idea suddenly crossed her mind. Deciding that she wanted him near her permanently, she wondered why she did not simply lock him up. The more she thought about it, the more convinced she became. With a smile, she concluded that she would do exactly that and convinced herself that Tanaka would surely be pleased. The scene then shifted to Inoue sitting in front of her computer with a tense expression on her face. Frustrated, she muttered that none of the results were right. She explained that even after roughly pinpointing the time and place where Tanaka had encountered Kuroshima Yuko and searching SNS for keywords related to the incident, she still could not find anything. She complained that randomly assigning kanji and searching on Facebook had been useless because she had already checked every matching account and none of them seemed likely. Unable to believe it, she wondered how it was possible that Tanaka had risked his life to stop someone from jumping, yet there was not even a single mention of it online. She insisted that he was nothing short of Prince Charming and questioned how anyone could experience something like that without wanting to tell someone. She imagined how being saved by Tanaka, of all people, felt exactly like something straight out of a shoujo manga. Overwhelmed with emotion, she grabbed her head as tears welled up in her eyes and admitted that she was incredibly jealous. She continued ranting that it was exactly like a manga and insisted that anyone would fall in love if something like that happened to them. She argued that it would be strange not to try getting closer to him afterward by thanking him or finding an excuse to see him again. She admitted that Tanaka was cool, cute, and kind, before suddenly realizing that he possessed nothing but qualities that would make him incredibly popular. Frustrated, she declared that Kuroshima Yuko definitely liked him and tearfully wondered why she could not have been the one in her place. As she nervously bit her nails, she grumbled that God was so cruel for interfering with two people who were mutually in love. Determined not to let things continue like this, she grabbed her phone and declared that she had to come up with some countermeasures. Just then, she noticed a cat key ring sitting on her desk. Her eyes immediately lit up with hope as she realized that this was exactly what she needed. The scene then shifted. Carrying the key ring in her hand, Inoue spotted Tanaka from a distance and thought that the timing could not have been any better. She decided that if she was going to give it to him, this was her only chance. However, she also wanted to make as much body contact with him as possible without actually hurting him. Taking a deep breath, she tried to calm herself by repeatedly telling herself to focus and center her mind. After taking a running stance, she admitted that she became nervous every single time but encouraged herself to do her best. Calling out Tanaka's name, she sprinted toward him and crashed into him with enough force to send him flying backward. Rubbing himself in pain, Tanaka monotonously told her to cut it out. Inoue simply laughed and commented that he really was tough. Deep inside, she happily admitted that it was one of the many things she loved about him. Holding out the keyring, she explained that she had ended up with duplicates again as a surprise prize and asked if he would take one if he did not mind. Internally, Tanaka was overjoyed. He eagerly accepted it before noticing that it was a cat keychain and excitedly exclaimed that it was incredibly cool. Laughing happily, Inoue replied that she knew he liked it before asking if he liked cats. Caught completely off guard, Tanaka nervously stumbled over his words. In his heart, he was overwhelmed by the realization that Inoue actually knew he liked cats. Giggling, she told him that she had become really attached to that keychain, so she asked him not to throw it away and to take good care of it. Tanaka immediately promised that he would never throw it away. Privately, he treasured it as though it were a family heirloom. Satisfied with his answer, Inoue smiled. Without wasting any time, Tanaka attached the keychain to his bag, saying that he might as well put it on immediately. Laughing, Inoue remarked that he was surprisingly quick to act before asking whether that was really okay. Confused, Tanaka asked what she meant. She then explained that the keychain actually came as a set of two. Pointing to the identical one hanging from her own school bag, she revealed that the one she was carrying formed a matching pair with his. The revelation instantly turned Tanaka's face bright red. Smiling mischievously, Inoue pointed out that if someone who knew both of them saw the matching keychains, they might get the wrong idea. Unable to hold back her laughter, she burst into laughter and teased him by saying that he looked just like a boiled octopus and that he looked adorable. Tanaka could only stand there in complete embarrassment. Still laughing, Inoue jokingly remarked that he was scary before telling him that she would see him tomorrow. She then walked away. Unable to stop himself, Tanaka called out her name as she left. The scene then shifted to Inoue sitting in her classroom. The moment her friend noticed her, she was shocked to see how red Inoue's face had changed, and he immediately asked what had happened to her. With tears in her eyes, Inoue emotionally declared that she had really done her best. Completely confused, her friend first congratulated her before immediately demanding an explanation. However, Inoue apologized and admitted that she could not explain it. Her friend only became even more curious and desperately begged her to tell her what had happened. The scene then shifted to Tanaka's childhood. He stood beside the road with his younger sister and his childhood friend, Yu-chan. Beside him, Yua burst into tears, repeatedly crying that she did not want Yu-chan to leave as she tightly hugged her brother. With tears in her own eyes, Yu-chan thanked both Yua and Wakun for being her friends and promised that she would never forget either of them, even though they had only been together for a short time. Just then, Yu-chan's mother called out, telling her that it was time to go. Looking back sadly, Yu-chan quietly acknowledged her older sister. Holding back his own tears, Tanaka realized that it was finally time to say goodbye. He gently placed something into Yu-chan's hands. Looking down in surprise, she discovered a cute hairpin and happily asked if it was really for her. Embarrassed, Tanaka explained that he had heard she was moving away so suddenly, and, although he had not known what to do, he had wanted to do something for her. Fighting back her tears, Yu-chan admitted that the truth was that she did not want to move at all. She explained that she had begged her father not to make them leave, but he had absolutely refused. Apologizing, she confessed that she had wanted to stay with him forever. After placing the hairpin in her hair, she quietly said that she had to go. As Tanaka sadly called out to her, Yu-chan suddenly stepped closer and whispered something into his ear. She then smiled brightly, thanked him once again for the hairpin, and cheerfully said goodbye before leaving. The scene then shifted back to the present. Tanaka was asleep on the train when the announcement for the next station woke him from his dream. As he made his way home, he reflected that it had been a nostalgic dream and wondered how Yu-chan was doing. He even considered the possibility that she might be living somewhere nearby before reminding himself that he needed to hurry home. After arriving home, Tanaka excitedly took out the cat keychain with a bright blush covering his face. Showing it off proudly, he happily declared that it was today's haul. He excitedly thought that receiving a keychain from Inoue alone already made it a family treasure, but learning that it was part of a matching pair made it even more special. He could not stop thinking about her saying that people might get the wrong idea about the two of them. Completely overwhelmed by the thought, he could only repeat to himself how unbelievably wonderful it was. Suddenly, a cat snatched the keychain in its mouth and dashed away. Horrified, Tanaka immediately chased after it, desperately shouting at the cat to wait and give back his family treasure.